in how both team comps play out.
Well, let's see how it goes as, ladies and gentlemen, match point for Dplus KIA. KC, the beginnings of a reverse sweep have to start here. There is no other option. Their backs are against the wall. A nice looking composition though as we get onto the rift for this game number 3.
And I feel like with this comp, we can finally see Yike and Busio really linking up and making plays happen together. They both can start the play on their own and have the other one follow up, which allows them to be much more creative in how they play it. While before it felt like it was just Busio needing to make a miracle happen with the Bard ultimate, it's now a lot more equalized as we get to see some early laning phase between KC here. Busio just wants to all in.
Yeah, there's the crash down. Is avoided by Smash quite nicely as the ricochets do dance through. There's the heal out from both of our supports. KIA needing to hit these Gleaming Quills,
yeah.
right? Like, that is the way you're going to play this one.
Exactly. You're going to need to hit those to get the sustain needed to make these favorable trades, but still already pretty favorable for them at this level 1. Now have control of the wave.
Yeah, early laning phase, Sivir pushes faster than the Xayah, and with the sustain and the range from Rakan, you can get that push. And the worry I have is I feel like DK has shown such good laning phase in this best of 5, and even a small lane lead, they've been able to transition that into making the game pretty much unplayable for KC. So we need KC to not give them that avenue, not make that mistake, because if DK get it, they will not give you the comeback.
Yeah, difference maker could be Yike here, rushing towards that level 6 to get that Cyclone. We saw just how pivotal he was in their previous matchup. An option here for KC to play around, but they do need to buy some time in order to let the Wukong reach that point. As on the other side, it's Lucid on his Xin Zhao. He's been very comfortable on this pick for a very long time. Shove is looking good here towards the bottom side for DK, but Yehu is having such a good time on this Annie in the mid lane.
You can see the sustain gap on bot lane. The Gleaming Quills are landing from career, and Smash is staying full HP. Okalistas half used both of his potions, as Yehu is getting some good trades. And Kana, while he's losing push in the early laning phase, eventually he will start to get pushed, but it's level 3 on bot lane.
Yeah, there's a Shattering Strike. Good crash down does connect onto Career, who battle dances his way out of the way. Liz does get that feather pull, but it's not too much. And it's going to be another one trade here for Dplus KIA.
Lucid's down here, and obviously they have a lot of cryo, and it's a Wukong early. They're going to need Annie's help. Yehu comes over here if they want to control the Scuttle Crab.
Yike has Smite though. Lucid used his, so he can smite the crab and get away. Showmaker also chose to invest the TP there, but Kallista's really chunked.
Yeah, this is a lot of damage. Grand Entrance gets the flash out from this Xayah. Not a lot of value of that pullback, as well as now Lucid wants to get on in here. There is the thumbs up once again. It hasn't exactly been a good luck charm here for the Xayah as he throws down the feathers and just dies. First blood over to Lucid here in the bottom lane.
And DK's laning has just been superior in this best of 5. All they need is a slight lead and they will run away with the game. Busio will be getting dove. Kallista's already dead. It's a disaster for KC.
And this is not the start of the reverse sweep that you were looking for. It's a disaster in the bottom lane. 2 kills early on over to Lucid. He's up 600 gold. Sure, Showmaker's TP wasn't the greatest, wasn't super high value, but they didn't even need him. And all they got, all they walked away with was the Scuttle Crab.
They at least got the Scuttle Crab, though. That's pretty cool. On the top side of the map as well, Kanna is getting a little bit of a shove in, but you can see Xiu is still actually ahead in farm by just a little bit. Not too bad for this Cassante, who is looking a little worse for wear otherwise. In the mid lane, though, it is still Yehu with a bit of a shove advantage, but the CS has not really mimicked what we've been seeing in that laning phase. And so 1,000 gold is going to be the resulting advantage here for Dplus KIA.
And credit where credit is due. I mean, Smash has been so damn good all this tournament, and he's showing the laning prowess alongside Career. They have a slight winning lane, and that's all they need to take down Kalist and now build up such a big gold lead. Shiwu now getting some really good trades on Kana here.
Yeah, Kanna just teleported back, so this is not optimal.
The wave's in a terrible spot. He can't teleport anywhere else, really, but Shiu's on top of his teleport ward, and he just loses all of his health, and because he doesn't have TP, if he's forced to back here, disaster is Yehu!
Rune Prison goes down. Lucid does get the win, becomes lightning, but does not managed to catch out the Annie before she gets underneath the turret.
And this pre-6 Wukong just isn't able to do a whole lot. Yike's getting pushed out of his own jungle now. Here's the Realm Warp.
Yeah, Showmaker getting himself into position as Yike gonna have to get out. That is a little bit of a cute play, but it does not catch Lucid out. Showmaker going to pick up the 3rd kill for Dplus KIA.
DK have full control of the map. They utilize Showmaker's prio. Yike wants to try to bait them a little bit. Is not willing to flash immediately, and he ends up dying for it. Lucid trades the flash. And KC, it just feels suffocating. It feels like they're not able to find any angle as DK shuts the door again and again and again.
It's just understanding of pressure and control, right? You know, they push the Annie out, and they're like, well, I guess there's a Wukong in here, doesn't have Cyclone. And he avoids the knockup. Where is he gonna go? Showmaker gets the root. He is just locked up, forced to flash the wall, and Lucid is there. Showmaker picks up the kill. So you got 2 kills on the Zen. Now the Rise is starting to get online.
I also think they saw the Warrior Trickster go on cooldown, so they were never actually tricked out of position. You could see like there was no hesitation. Like Lucid was in there with that audacious charge, and as soon as the Wukong was in range, it's a little bit unfortunate that Yike was on vision when he did press that button. It's now Shu pushing Canna away, does have that Negatron cloak now. It's only going to get worse as he builds towards that Kainic Rooker as item number 1 for this Cassante. As Yehu does find the stun. Tibbers is out here being annoying. It's Busio spotting Korea. Now Smash with the On the Hunt looking to chase down Kalist. Moving back towards his turret, but these feathers do go down. Oh, the Boomerang comes back and Kalist is just dead. Korea also able to battle dance his way out of danger. Oh my goodness, DK is just kind of messing with him now.
And Kalist was so close to level 6. He needed 1 more minion, but that was all Smash needed to all in. Doesn't get hit by nearly enough feathers, and he just takes down Kalist, and the game is starting to feel over for KC.
He knows Kalist doesn't have any way to get out of here either. You know, he doesn't have flash, so he's just stuck. All he can do is try to kite back, but he just doesn't have the numbers, just frankly. It's just simply 280 carries hitting each other, and Smash is the stronger one.
Yeah, and also, he just kites to the side, right? All of these feathers that were landing on the ground, nothing that Kalist could do. And what you need in that moment is the flash, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't have that flash up and available to reposition those feathers and make the outplay.
Feeling dire for KC. There's no other way to put it. I feel like we're starting to see the fight go out in them. They're not able to play the matchups how they would want to. This bot lane, it should be stable. It should be a chill matchup.
Not looking very chill.
It's only Kana who's got the control. It's only Kana is the lead. It's a 14 gold lead. it's something. But Dplus are just in so much control of the map, and they have been able to keep. I mean, all 3 games will look like this when they get a little bit of control. They turn it into a ton of control. Now Yike pushed away again on this Gromp. It's rinse and repeat. This is where Lucid started his career with prio in challengers.
Yeah, in the enemy jungle. That's where he started his career. Well, you're exactly right.
Like the Elise in the past, he would just say, all right, well, my bottom lane's pushing. I'm in your jungle, and I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to dive you. This is his bread and butter.
And he was already stealing away the blue buff. He didn't need to also take the Gromp.
What about taking the bot duo?
Well, that's what they're looking for now. Let's see whether Lucid can find the angle. And Busio, he's going to be his first target.
Here comes Showmaker.
Comes in. There is the Realm Warp that you were talking about. Connects the cube. It doesn't get too much more, but the Ghost has to be invested from Kalist. And this entire time, minions are just dying underneath turrets. There's just not a whole lot that can be gained here from this bottom lane.
Get the grubs, I guess, on the cross map. What else can you really get? What else can you really do in this game? A little bit of a push here for Yehu as well. Trying to get some plate gold back while Showmaker Realm Warp's over. He has a little bit of extra free time here. It is a dominant early game for Dplus KIA.
Yeah, Kalist is bleeding. At least they get the 3 grubs, but it's not the cross map that you were looking for. It's 4 kills for DK, full control of every lane. Shiwu getting that 14 gold lead back.
This is not the Dplus KIA I was expecting to see this tournament. And even after they managed to get the upset over BLG, I was like, well, it's Dplus, you know, consistency doesn't really happen. This has been pure consistency throughout this series so far.
And DK just looked a class above KC today.
But KC looked a class above T1. They've looked a class above so many teams that they shouldn't have. AGAL just crumbled at the hands of this team. And it felt to me like this was going to be a little bit more of a back and forth, but as we've seen so far, Dplus KIA just absolute dominance.
And it's a game that leaves you a little speechless, I think, if you are a KC fan, because I think many KC fans didn't expect them to beat T1. We got hyped by it, looked into the finals thinking, well, maybe lightning strikes twice. But after game 2, it felt like everything was just down to the wire, down to one more chance, one more desperate game. And now you're two gold behind at 10.5 minutes, and your bottom lane's in tatters. Feels like there's no hope left. This arena is silent. Yike is pushed again off the Gromp 3 times in a row.
Oh no, Shu looking for the all-out here as he pulls Canner away. Can Canner actually escape? That is the question, or does he need to as he equalizes a decent spot? With the flash to follow there, gets the flash out of Canner, and he will be able to make it out alive. No flashes, no ultimates up and available for our top laners now.
Flash for flash on top. I think it favors Shiu. Now they can look to dive Kana more easily. The problem is, due to how bot lane is going, it's so easy for DK to just push mid, have Showmaker roam, and then Kalist is continuously losing minions. The gold lead hasn't ballooned too much though. He was down 500 gold 5 minutes ago, and the fact that that has stayed at only 500 gold, it is some positive
Silver
news.
lining.
Silver lining.
It's some strong copium, yeah. I want it too, I want more games. I want this to be a better series.
I mean, when I
want it.
came into today, I thought, okay, maybe it's like 60-40 for DK.
I didn't think we'd get a 3-0. I didn't think that was, like, I would have thought any other scoreline.
I agree.
On either side. I just thought no matter what, even if KC popped off with the French crowd there, they were the ones up 2-0. I thought there's no way the series is 3-0. And we're looking at it right now. It's not over, but we need something to change here. There's so much wave clear for Dplus to control the map too with Ryze and Sivir. You're always going to be first on the play. You're always going to be first on the objective.
And it empowers Lucid so much as well, right? He's got his Titanic Hydra now. He will be evaporating the jungle over and over again. And it means that that lead that he's put together already is only going to compound, because now he can get into Yike's jungle and put him further and further behind. There's a Malignance done. There is a Trinity Force here for this Wukong, who has found level 8. So the Cyclone Tibbers combo could be coming in here for KC, but they're going to need to get that one done as quickly as possible. Find themselves an angle to fight for something here in this game.
It feels like DK, they're just building the snowball, and KC either need to smash the snowball, make them stumble,
Melt it. You can
melt it, yeah.
I mean, he's got so much mid control. He's trying to decide, do we want to make a play on the Rumble? Do we want to make a play on the bottom lane with my Realm Warp? So much control, trying to get information on where Yike is to make that right call, to be able to defend anything he wants to set up with this Cyclone. I think we've even seen a Cyclone this game.
Oh dear,
Lucio
now in so much trouble, does crash away from the situation, but Showmaker, he is closing in. There are 3 people around him. There's the equalizer from Canna. Maybe an opportunity for KC as somehow Smash is just solo killed on the other side of the map, and now both AD carries are dead. Korea not finding the angle here though, and now Lucid gonna need to try and get this fight going in his direction. And in fact, he kind of is.
Busio.
There's the Magnet Storm from Busio though. Wind doesn't become lightning. It is gonna be Busio falling, but it'll take so much more for the trouble, and KC will come alive.
KC, they finally smashed the snowball from DK that they were slowly building up. And it's so much of it came from Kalist somehow finding the 1v1 against Smash.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at that replay for sure. And it's Busio closes the door on the fight after initially being the one who was caught. So some serious redemption there, but it's all about Kalist. If Smash is alive for that skirmish, there's not a prayer for KC to win it. Kalist pulls it off.
Walking into Yike's jungle, trying to scare him away. Neither top laner wants to be in top here.
Yeah, Shu just kind of on walkabout at the moment, and let's have a look at how this one all happened.
Maybe he gets the... No, he just wins the 1v1. Auto for auto.
Ulti. Spell shield on the ulti, but just has the damage.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation there from Smash. Unfortunately, missing that initial boomerang really was problematic.
Lucio is the initial one who's caught here, but he has Yike to back him up, and they're being sandwiched with the positioning. Okay, we have a fight live.
Yeah, that is, yeah, Shiu is just looking for an angle, and he does find it. Just solo kill on a roaming Busio.
Shiu's the secondary jungler in this game, I suppose.
Yeah, we got River Cassante. I've heard of River Shen, haven't heard of River Cassante before. But that is looking a little dangerous.
Smash is getting the mid tower as well. Still a big lead for DK. And they're still remaining in control of this game as they're going to continue now pushing in. They're getting bot tower, they're getting mid tower, picking up a lot of this standing gold. And it should be
first turret going over to Showmaker here as well. Nothing Kana can really do. And another one going to fall in that mid lane, you have to think, in a couple of moments as well. As Yehu here towards the top side, going to try and push Shio away. Doesn't have the all-out at the moment, as he used that to kill Busio just earlier on. Look at this, just a tiny bit of health left on this turret and is basically dead to rights. And the Rift Herald has now spawned. Feels like that little bit of momentum that we saw shift away from Dplus KIA kind of being regained as we've hit the neutral once again.
It just feels like KC never get prio. They don't get prio on mid, they're not getting prio on top, they're getting pushed in on bot. And that's been the story of this series. Every single game, especially after the 15-minute mark, DK are just pushing them in every single lane, not allowing them to make any play happen or make any point of pressure.
Yeah, it's just constantly them setting up plays by the fact that they have that priority in the lanes. It means that KC has to play defensively. They did a great job of it previously, as Busio's going to look for a bit of an angle here.
Smash is base. They can look to rush the... Oh, they're keeping...
Xiu is back to the river once again. He got annoyed he was in the bottom lane. There's the Pathmaker, all out, back up and available in 5 seconds time as the feathers get pulled back. See Xiu still wanting to do battle here as we're having a look at the top side of the map a little bit as well, as the Annie and Ryze are still fighting one another. And Dplus will be able to push them away from Shelly.
That Cassandra is absurdly tanky. He just TP'd into 4 members and he did more damage to Busio than he took himself.
And if his ult was up, it was like Atlas mentioned, was not quite there. He could have actually taken Busio through the wall there.
Yeah.
As Yehu used his ultimate to push Showmaker back, Showmaker's going to have to TP back into this fight if there's going to be a late contest here. But without the Tibber stun, I don't think that KC should actually commit further, and that's going to be Lucid picking this one up. Because the Cassante is so tanky, he actually went for the Kanavi build here with the Hydra, so he does so much damage and gets on top of any of these squishy targets. KC always going to have to respect this Xin that's got the largest gold lead in the game right now with the early double he picked up.
Yeah, such a good win more build from the Xin Zhao, who's clear of the jungle, has never been really the fastest.
Yeah, who needs help
for this one. And that is the focus on this turret as the teleport is coming through. It's a little bit of a slow one here as Kana will show up. Gets the big old shield though, as Xiu just tanking this one up. Yehu is just dead before he can really do anything, and Shelly takes down the turret. And now Xiu's flashing forward, looking to get on top of Kalist. That is going to be the Realm Warp in, and the quickness picks him up. Smash takes him down, and now KC's bodies are littering the floor of this top lane. Shelly gets another charge. Busio and Kana trying to get out of there, but Lucid will not let them escape. That's another kill going over to the Xin Zhao. And Dplus KIA, yes, there might have been a little fight there, the little hiccup earlier on, but now it's looking all business for them here on the Rift.
And what do? You know, you got a TP to save him, but if you commit the TPs, you commit the fight, and Dplus are faster on the rotation, which they are, and the turret is this low, it's just not going to work out as Yehu is just caught in this desperate situation. There's a Rift Herald here. I think maybe the play should have been to just let him die, but you're so far behind. I think you're sick of giving Dplus everything on the map, but they give them the turret, they give them multiple kills as a result. The Realm Warp to follow from Showmaker, and this feels like the beginning of the end of our EWC finals.
And both Kalist and Yehu there got CC chained before they got to use their ultimates. Both carries got shut down by DK without having the impact that they needed to try to make a comeback fight for a KC happen. You can see the desperation,
the frustration.
The frustration.
It's almost like, you know, what am I supposed to do here, you know?
Yeah.
And with Featherstorm not really having an angle of all that effective use anyway,
this org
is so hard.
Has lost the finals last year to the LCK at first stand. They were one of the underdog stories there.
Yeah.
And here coming in, a lot of momentum. Not even getting the game they got over Honolulu Life Esports last year.
Oh, Greer looking for an angle here. Does just get on top of Yehu. Once again, down without the bear. And Yike trying to do some work here. Bear will fall. And tell a little bit of a lie there. The Tibbers was released out as now Equalizer goes down. But look at this. Kana is just limping towards this inner turret. Lucid making his way over. And at least KC will not lose any more than that. But the bounties are up. It's an 8,000 gold lead as we crest the 20-minute mark. Dplus are looking for a clean sweep here in this final, as they'll grab Soul Point as well, as Mountain Soul comes up. And man, if Mountain Soul is ever picked up by this team, I mean, it's already looking pretty over. That's really over if they get the next Drake in 5 minutes time.
DK have shut down all the hopes of KC, and especially now with the Nash respawning as well. It's so easy for them to just... They can kind of do whatever they want, to be honest. They can go into KC's jungle, they can take all of Yike's camps, they can stop KC from ever entering, they can start the Nash if they want, or they can just stall for the soul. There's really no wrong play for them. And KC needs to be the one to...
Trying to make some proactive play, but with no vision, with no control. Dplus basically have map hacks so they can see everything you're doing. Look at the wards they have.
And Career can just walk up like this with no threat on him.
From the bottom lane to the top, there's just a line of wards halfway from Baron to the base of KC. There's no flanks, there's nothing allowed. And Dplus can put their eyes on the Baron here at 21 minutes. They have so much damage. This Ryze doesn't have third item just yet. His rod isn't even completed, but they do just have enough, I think, at this point to start considering that Baron take. Yehu here trying to stay and look for a pick.
Yeah, he does throw the bear down, but Lucid just ignores it. There's the Crescent Guard, as now Yike feels like he's a little bit too far forward. The Realm Warp as Showmaker is going to join the fight as the feathers get pulled back, and KC will be able to hold them at bay, at least for the moment. Teleport up here from Yehu, but you can see Shu, he's on this bottom side of the map. KC going to have to go back and deal with this Cassante as well. And it feels like KC just need to be too many places at once.
It's really frustrating to play this one out. Can't find anything.
DK are just a step above. They've shown their skill in the laning phase and how well they were able to transfer it into the game, not giving any angle. We've barely even had a real team fight. We had like 2.5 over the course of this series because it's just been DK dominating.
It's never been a fair fight.
Yeah.
Never, ever a fair fight.
Apart from that weird moment where Kalist solo killed Smash.
That's true.
That was the best fight they got. And even that wasn't a huge win.
And now Smash is 2 levels up, or at least was a few moments ago, has his 3 items completed. And Dplus, I think it's Baron time. That's what they're considering, and Smash's Sivir just does so much damage. The rest of DK, they can just play defense.
Shiu has TP advantage. Kana can't even TP to this Baron if he wanted to. This is going to have to back normally. Here's the Cassante to hold the line and keep Yike out with Career and Showmaker on this flank. It's just gone.
It's going to have to be perfect, but it doesn't even matter. The Baron is going to be taken here as KC looking for a potential team fight. There's the Magnus Storm just onto Showmaker to try and escape, and the all-out brings Shiu in there. It's a decent position on this equalizer, though. The problem is the wallets are just way too heavy. Lucid dashing on forward as Kana gets into the base gate and tries to keep himself alive. There's a Crescent Guard, and Lucid says, good night, Rumble.
Oh my god, he lives!
Busio going to be able to get out of there, but that top laner not going to survive. And Dplus KIA with their new Baron are going to push towards the KC base.
Yesterday, after getting the upset win over T1, KC's players were on the floor with joy, but in this series, DK is putting their bodies on the floor in these team fights. It's not close. They can only look with their binoculars at the Baron pit. They're not able to get into touching distance, nowhere near in this fight. It's an amazing equalizer, and in a closer game state, maybe that could have been the difference maker, but not in this game 3 of the Grand Finals.
But the fact that Lucid 1v3s this with the Sundered Sky procs, gets the triumph.
What are you gonna do?
Unreal. He has GA now. He's soon to have a Mountain Soul.
KC, they can defend this inner turret at least for the moment. You were talking about a walk 1 minute until that Mountain Soul is on the Rift. We'll see whether this game even lasts that long, as DK do want to utilize this Baron. 3.5 thousand gold already in that power play, as they are ahead 12,000. Exactly right. It's so much more money here for DK, as in goes Lucid one more time. He's got GA, and so he can actually go down in this battle, as Smash is going to solo out Yeho on the backside of the fight. Showmaker takes out Yike here as they're looking to break open the base. Busio trying to canter away, and Canna at least gets the dash cannon out, but Showmaker's still going to be able to put him down. And Dplus KIA on the precipice of sweeping the grand final here at EWC 2026.
There's nothing left in the tank. It was down for 25. Busio's looking for a flank angle here to try to buy some space.
He wants to pull the wave.
Gonna pull it.
He's able to do so. 15 seconds on Yahoo, 10 on Yike.
Yeah, sidesteps the grand entrance quite nicely here. And at least Dplus are forced to go back. The problem is they're forced to go back to a Mountain Soul, which is going to make this game even more impossible.
Showmaker's just having fun. Look at him on the player cam. He already knows. He can see the trophy that he's got. Oh, he can see it in his mind's eye.
He's got his library card out, man. He's like, oh, I'm ready to borrow some books. Everyone's staying quite quiet in here.
Smash looks emotional. He's had an amazing tournament. A big front runner to pick up EWC MVP if they could close this one out. And Smash is level 16. He's so massive here that when Yahoo shows up to try to look for the flank, he says thank you for the freebie. And just turns around onto Yahoo and deletes him.
And Casey, they want to abuse the fact that DK was playing on all 3 lanes, but Lucid lives so long. He has the GA and buys so much time with the Sinsa ultimate as well. And then, as you say, Wolf, the fact that the Andy loses 1v1 to the Sivir, they're just having fun.
This is the most terrifying version of Showmaker, by the way, everyone. I don't know whether anyone else's memory goes back the 6 years to when he was the world champion, but that's what he was doing then as well. Just cackling on the stage while he's breaking the dreams of his opposition. Xiu now pushing in towards this top lane inhibitor turret. And in theory, KC's Nexus is still up, but it feels like it's only a matter of time.
They cleared this wave.
Dplus KIA are just going to knock it down.
The super minions are crashing into the base in the mid lane, though, and now they're looking for a pick on the Busio.
Yeah, Busio gonna get that Magnet Storm off. Yahoo's still a little ways away. Busio going to fall, but they've taken down Kalista already. The clone is going to fall. Yike is gonna get caught in the offside of the fight, though. Showmaker gives him another thumbs up. It's a triple and an ace here for Dplus KIA, and they have done it just before they were celebrating that they made it to 5th place in the LCK, and now they are the EWC 2026 winners.
A well-deserved celebration. The second that ace came across, they were high-fiving across the line, but I think they knew 20 minutes ago that this was gonna be their title, but they didn't mess it up. They didn't make any mistakes. They were oppressive in this series.
What an unbelievable performance from Dplus KIA, your unlikely heroes, the 3rd LCK team to lift this trophy, and they keep it in Korea. Now it is time to throw over to Ian on the stage.
This has just been an incredible journey full of surprise. And this has been such a dominant performance, and look what it means to each of the players. Before you have the opportunity that you deserve to raise the trophy high in the air, there's one last piece of business that we need to complete, and that is to crush the final key for League of Legends at the Esports World Cup. Gentlemen, it's part of the process, it's tough. One of you needs to step up to do this, but before you do, I think Lou is standing by just briefly before we wrap this up.
Yes, Ian, I am with some DK fans real quick. What do you want to tell your champion? DK! DK! Yeah, they're ready for that crush, Ian.
The time has come. The brutality of EWC in full effect as Korea steps forward here to crush the key. Karmine Corp's key will be crushed in front of their adoring fans. A harsh result, but such a dominant performance from DK. In front of this sold-out crowd at the STC Arena, there's only one thing left to do, and that is lift the trophy that is rightfully yours. Place the key inside of it, and shoot it high in the air.
Mesdames et messieurs, Dplus KIA sont vos grands gagnants de l'EWC League of Legends. congratulations. Évidemment, encore un grand bravo à Dplus KIA, qui sont vos grands